Let's try to get this engine all finished up and hopefully fired up. First thing we're gonna do is get this old water pump off. That's gonna break. Oh yeah, that's gonna break. Wow. Holy crap. There it is. Broke it. Knew that was gonna happen. I'm gonna say that the bearing failed inside that water pump. It's bad. I don't think I've seen a water pump fail like that. This one broke off. I might be able to weld a nut on that. And then this one broke off flush. That one sucks. All right, let's go ahead and get this cam sensor out. The bottom half looks pretty much just like a distributor, and the top half is obviously just like some sort of cam sensor, but we're going to be replacing that with a regular distributor. It's going to be hard for y'all to see that, but I got pretty good access to the oil sensor. Look at the gap on that. That's like 80 thou. This thing would have ran like crap. Let's see if this thing still rotates. Okay, top dead center. And drop the distributor down in there. Now that fuel rail is like super close to the distributor, but it's in there. It went back on the oil pump shaft. Boom. And we connect this white wire to the coil. The distributor is supposedly installed. Oh yeah, perfect. Okay, we've got our spark plugs right there. Got our adapter. It's gonna go from our old oil pressure sensor to this new transducer. We've got water pump gasket, thread sealer, 180 thermostat. Got oil filter, got our belt, got our spark plug wires. Let's see if we can get this thing all put together. I don't put anti-seize on a lot of stuff, but spark plugs I usually do. We don't really have to anti-seize anything down here. Not normally. Well, that didn't look as cool as I thought. Okay, I'm gonna have to get the old internet diagram out. I know this is number 1. It's where I set it to on timing and rotation. And then I just gotta start plugging and figuring out which length the wire is gonna go where, because this is obviously a coil pack engine originally going to the distributor, so I don't know how the Fox bodies are routed. Anyways, I'll get back to you when I'm done with the wiring. Had some spare spark plug wraps laying around, so I threw those on there to protect them. Kind of wish they were purple to match the wheels and the steering wheel. Anyways, spark plug wires routed. Even got the coil plugged in. This side, I only had 7 of those, but this one doesn't really need it, so looks good. Let's move on to oil sensor. I just glooped the crap out of that fitting. Where are you at? Of course, they just had to put it in a really tight spot. Oh yeah. I hope I don't have to do this anytime soon. Here is the off-brand transducer.
I like that collage video you made already.
Which one?
I think it was the one where y'all built the engine cage.
Oh, yeah.
I like the fast forwarding with the music. I always like that kind of shit.
Oh, dude, this. I mean, I'll be honest, I've never taken this off. Is there any oil? Ooh. Right on my polished concrete. Okay, so I had to do that twice. Pulled the water pump back off to put this intermediate tube in there. The one I got from online was way too much of an angle, so we just threw the old one. New bypass hoses for the heater. Let's put the intake on. I was afraid that this straighter valve for the fuel pressure was going to be underneath the intake, so now I can go get that adapter from Holley and put a fuel pressure gauge inside the truck, which would be really cool. Okay, so we got our throttle position sensor wired in. I actually used the original pigtail. That way I can go to the auto parts store, disconnect this, and replace it if I need to. Hopefully not. But that way it is still pretty mobile. Manifold air temp is going to get spliced into this. I ground off one of the ears because this idle air control valve is different than the Fox body harness that I got. Where is it at? Right here. Focus. Right there. So this is the one that comes with the Terminator. It's a different style, but this clip was almost the same. Let's see here. There we go. See, it'll clip right in. So then I'm just going to splice this to the manifold air temp, and we should be rocking and rolling. I do have to get a different idle air control valve, which I might have one in the barn somewhere, but for now, wire this in. That's done. So we've got all our wires ran for the Terminator X Max, all ran down inside this kick panel. I went ahead and installed this fuse box, American Auto Wire hot rod wiring harness. So here it is. I'm trying to run all the wires so I can at least get the ignition switch hooked up. So this is gonna take me the rest of the night, and hopefully by tomorrow I'll be able to at least just kick it over and see. All right, see y'all tomorrow. Ready? Ignition on. I'm an idiot. I don't have the coil hooked up. Nothing? Okay, so you can see the problem we're having. No RPM signal. So, I'm gonna guess either the distributor's not turning, or something in this TFI is messed up, or we got something wired wrong. I'm gonna check my grounds and go from there. We're gonna take the hood off to make it a little easier. But while they're going to the store to get food, I figure I'll take y'all around the wiring that I've done so far. Okay, we have got the switch panel all wired in as far as ignition, and that would consist of the ignition feed, the main 12 volts for the hot rod harness. We've got the black and, or not black, red and white for the trigger on the Terminator, and then we've got our trigger wire for our solenoid on the starter. That's all wired in on the first two switches. And then, let's see, we've got wipers and heater, miscellaneous. I need to hook up the accessories. Let's see, everything else is cut and stripped, the stuff I don't need. All ran through the kick panel. And then we've got, obviously, our Terminator harness. We've got the ignition for the coil right there. This goes to the fuse box and the switch panel, and this comes off the starter that connects to the battery. This is the trigger wire for the starter that just runs down there. Then we've got the battery wire. I don't know if you can see that, it's right there. All of that is right on the inside of the frame rail, not zip tied yet. And then we've got a battery. Woo! I'm all right with that location of that battery. And let me tell you, batteries are expensive now. Jesus. Fuel pump wired into the Terminator. Goes down there. Got all our grounds and our positives, like I said. Terminator's hooked up directly to the battery like they want it, along with the fuel pump. I just got the battery bolted to the bedside. It actually holds there pretty good. Fuel pump is dead, so I'm gonna have to get a fuel pump, but I'm just trying to get spark out of this thing and fire it up on some brake clean. But yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Oh, you might have noticed I've got the the bed on it, just hanging out there. It's not bolted in. I got to remake the mounts since this thing's got to go about 4 inches lower to match the front fenders. And I also have the front fenders on. Radiator mount is all welded up. I just got to make the body mounts for the front clip. And this truck will be actually put fully together. Also, this idle air control valve is plugged in. You guys didn't see that, but I had a spare F-150 4.9 liter intake that we stole off of that, and it actually had the right pin. So I don't know why Ford made the Mustangs and the F-150s the same, but they decided to change the Explorers, whatever. Pretty much fully wired besides the headlights and an accessory wire, and I guess the heater too. But it cranks over. I'm excited. This thing is coming along. Once I get this thing fired up, put a fuel pump in it, put the radiator back in it, and it should technically, oh wait, no, I gotta wire in the trans controller. Anyways, other than that, it's technically drivable. tinkered on it a little more, and I think it's gonna be a bad distributor. Gonna go to the parts store and try to grab another distributor, stab it in there and see if it works, see if we got spark. If not, I gotta dig a little deeper. But for now, I'm gonna be switching and working on another vehicle. So I'm just gonna leave this sitting here until next week, and then I'll get back on it. Hopefully, when I get that distributor in, it lights off, and then I'll be really happy. Put a fuel pump in it, and it'll be good to go. All right, that's gonna be it for this one. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, watching. This truck's almost done. It's on the downhill stretch. Just gotta get it fired up, like I said, and finish up the body panels. And this thing should be a driver. So, thanks for watching.